everyone, and welcome back to my retro room, which will be in 12 to 18 months, hopefully, will no longer be in existence here. This will just be a shed again. I am putting a new retro room together as part of a brand new home build. That's all I'm going to say for that for now, but this is a reply video to the awesome UNEEDA Horror Podcast episode about the Lost Boys. I had to do a video in reply, to comment basically in video form, because for me this is a truly epic film, and I am so happy that I was 14 when this film came out, and I'm only 1 year younger than Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and only 2 years I think younger than Kiefer Sutherland. So, the first thing I want to say is that there was a question asked by Christian to the guys, Nick and Pizowell, today. Basically that, what comes to mind first when you think about Lost Boys? And for me, it is this: the video store. It is the fact that it shows scenes, albeit a very small amount, of a video store anywhere in the world is cool, because how many films have been made that show actual video stores at all? Like, even if it's just one that's set up for the film. I mean, video and video stores is just something I've lived my life. It's been my life. It's been a massive part of my life, and it's just good to see that in there. But second thing that comes to my mind, timeless film that is almost perfect. Perfect cast, perfect director, production people, all the other people in the background that made it happen, and perfect music. I mean, it is like you got in one segment of time just the right ingredients, just the right time, and it came out and just created this perfect, almost perfect gem of a film. I've got a couple of things to show you here. Firstly, this is a reprint by a guy that does really high quality prints. I love all the posters that are in this. Almost all of the posters that are in this retro room of mine are the original day bills or full size posters. These are not reprints. Almost all of them anyway. This is a reprint. Got it for $5. As soon as I saw it, I had to have it. Look at that. How cool does that look, man? That is awesome. There you go. Secondly, real quick, this is the only physical media piece of the Lost Boys I have. This is a 2-disc DVD special edition with about 8 or 9 featurettes and one very big documentary on it. And I got it for $3 at an op shop about 5 or 6 weeks ago with my mate. I'm stoked about it. Okay, so The Lost Boys. I actually love the cast. I think the guy that played Max was perfect. I really, really like the guy that played Michael. Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, I'd known about them a few years before. I saw Corey Haim in Lucas, which is 1985, I think that film was. And I just thought, this kid's really special. Feldman I'd seen in The Goonies, I think same year. I think there was a film that Corey Haim did in 84. I don't think I've seen it, but I heard that it was quite good and he got pretty good reviews for it. But I just think the cast is superb. I think the opening scene at night, well, the scene at night, which when they first arrive in the town, is superb. And I just think just the way the movie opens, the music, it's just epic. And what I love the most is the fact that I am from that generation. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman were born in 1972, maybe 71 for one of them, perhaps, or 72 for both. I was born in 1973 in January, and actually on the day that I think Peter Benchley finished or started writing the novel of Jaws, and I think it was the day, one of the first day, I think that they started shooting for Enter the Dragon. I believe, or close to that anyway, or finished it, one of the two, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, like the Lost Boys is just the fact of, you know, the story is different. It's not just, you know, it's not like just, you know, Dracula and just a, you know, some big gigantic place, you know, with this bloodsucker. It's different. It's like a teenage, you know, it's a teenage vampire sort of thing, but it's done well. And I think in the 80s, that time, you just had, so I don't know, it was just, you just had the right ingredients back then. I think so many things since probably 2000, at least 2005, 2010 at least, especially. Movies, there are some good movies out, but there's so many that just have no character development. They have no decent plot. It's all about special effects and run amok, and then it's over in an hour and a half. There's not that many movies that are made that well anymore, and a lot of it is just redos and whatnot. But The Lost Boys is just, it defines a generation, my generation. And it's just something that brought something different to horror, and I love the damn thing. I don't have no idea how many times I've watched it. It could be 15 or 20 times, and for me that's not many, because I mean, Jaws I have seen 250, 300 times, and at one point I could actually go from the beginning to the end and actually say every single word that's in that whole film. I can't anymore, I've forgotten. But I wonder how it would have turned out if Richard Donner had actually directed that. Would it have been better? Would it have been as good? Maybe it would have. Who knows? We'll never know now. But it's interesting. But I just love the fact that there's a video store that's shown in the film. And I think the cast is absolutely ideal. The guy that played Grandpa was absolutely brilliant. That guy is so cool. Absolutely love it. And I love the fact he drives through his house at the end. I mean, how cool is that? You know, if I go to my house, I'm just going to take this guy out. This is just so cool. It's just, I think, what a great way to go. My favourite scene, though, would be when the Frog Brothers and Corey decide we're going to go down to this place and we're going to take these guys out with the, you know, hit him with a stake, you know, just get stake in the heart, go for it, and they kill the first guy, and then it's just hell for leather, shit going everywhere, craziness. The way that Kiefer Sutherland responds to his hand getting burnt when he hits the light, in the sunlight, it's just like, wow. And again, like you guys were saying in the podcast, you know, that sax player, that guy was fucking ripped, man. That guy was ripped as he was, physique's off the charts. Like you said, he was the ultimate. He's like the Ultimate Warrior, and the Ultimate Warrior was actually my favourite wrestler at the time when that was all going on. But yeah, like, what's her name? Is it Jamie Gertz? I reckon. What a hottie at the time. She still is actually, but you know, she was perfect and gorgeous in that film, and I just love the whole thing. Could it have been that it could have been longer and better and whatnot? Doesn't really matter. The question for me is you know, here's what I will say. I totally do not acknowledge the existence of those two sequels. Never seen them. Not going to watch them. Period. Not interested. If The Lost Boys had been made in the 90s, what would it have looked like? You know, would it have... There's sometimes things are done at a certain time period that just makes it perfect. And if you try to redo it, like some people do prequels, sequels, and some people do remakes, and they do it 20, 30, 40 years later, or whatever it is, and it's just not the same. It's just not the same. The time is just not right. It's the cast or something. I think the 80s was an extremely special time, an incredible era for video, music, not so much car design, but for music, technology development, Commodore computers, the Amiga, the 128D, the 64, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the television, Coleco, all that stuff. Everything else after that came along, what an incredible 10 years that was. I don't think we'll ever see a decade where so much development, so much, I suppose, so many things that we know about it will ever happen again. Just like car design. Car design was pinnacle in the 60s. 67, the 63 to 70 era was the pinnacle of car design. And I don't think we'll ever see an era like it again. But I'm going off track here anyway. But I just want to say, guys, that podcast was superb, absolutely mega. And Christian, you should be commended, and Nick and Pizowell as well. You should be commended for all the work that you do with your Instagrams and your YouTube channels. It is just truly awesome, and I wish all three of you were getting far more views, comments, and I suppose reputation, and to be noticed more by so many more people, because you truly do brilliant work. And the dedication, Christian, especially, I know more about you than the other two, but the fact that you do so much work, I know of what you do for a job, and that has certain puts time constraints on you to a degree. So you've got that, you've got Sydney, you've got things going on, you've got family and everything else, and to dedicate the time that you do to do these, everything that you do is truly what makes your channel epic. And you're just a great bloke, and it's a shame that I'm so far away. I'm probably 13, 14, 17,000 kilometers away, but I really, it's great seeing what you're doing, and I think we agree when it comes to a lot of things you talk about. I agree with basically probably everything that what you like and what you believe in, and the things that you like. I mean, Return of the Living Dead, it's just an incredible film. I was 12 when it came out, and I was blown away by it. And it is definitely in the top 3 or 4 of my movies of all time, not just horror. All right, well, this video is getting rather long now, but I just want to say, guys, you're epic, you're brilliant. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it, and I can't wait to see what the next lot of episodes of the podcast and have a great week ahead. And sorry to hear about your AC going out, Christian, as well. That just got to be painful. But I do want to say one thing. You said in the video, in the podcast, that life sucks and you die. That was a statement that a guy made. I've cheated death twice. Once at 6 weeks of age, and another when I was 10. I won't say what caused it, but it wasn't my fault anyway. But there's times in life where life does suck, but overall, I think life rocks, man. Life is killer. It's absolutely great, and let's cherish it and make the most of it. And just give it everything you got and don't stop. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.